Hi everyone, it's Margaret Manning here, and welcome to Mornings with 60 and Me. Today is Sunday, September the 4th. Welcome to Sunday. I am having my cup of tea this morning. I've got a cup of lavender tea. Tastes really good, and the scent is just beautiful. So, hope you've got a cup of tea, coffee, sit down and relax, and let's go through what's going on in the world. I wanted, first of all, though, to thank you all for being here. It's just wonderful to read your comments every day, to know that you're enjoying what we're talking about, that you're getting inspired and motivated. And thank you for your comments. And please feel free, as we're talking today, if you have a thought or you want to have a dialogue about anything that we're discussing, please feel free to just leave your comments below. And if you want to get the news first, go up to 60andme.com/mornings and you'll receive the news first. So again, thanks for being here. Let's go through what's going on in the world. Yesterday, there was an earthquake in the United States, and of all places, Oklahoma. It was the epicenter was in Oklahoma, but what was so unique about this earthquake is it was felt across 6 different states, as far south as Austin, Texas. And the reason apparently for this is that the earth in that part of central United States is very soft. So when there's an earthquake, the ripples are felt, over a wider area. So that's why you felt it in Texas. And I don't think there was any tremendous damage, but hopefully people weren't too shaken and everyone's okay. I lived in Seattle for 20 years, so I know earthquakes are quite scary, and we had experienced a couple of them. So just take care, everyone, and just be safe. Now, in China today, the G20 summit begins. This is a meeting of 20 countries, primarily to talk about the world economy and talk about job creation and how to work together as a global community. And but having said that, yesterday people are starting to arrive, and there was an announcement between the United States and China that was very significant, and that is that both of them have signed on to the Paris climate change deal that was proposed to reduce the amounts of CO2 emissions in countries, and United States and China represent 38% of the CO2 emissions in the world. So they decided to show by their leadership their commitment to making a change in their countries, and they signed this agreement. Now, hopefully by the end of the event, everyone else will have signed on as well, all 20 countries. One of the challenges, of course, is that Europe is considered one country, even though there are 28 different countries in the EU. So getting everyone to agree might be challenging. I think Hungary and France are the only two so far that have joined. So, but what this really means is that these countries are making a commitment to improving the CO2 emissions in their country and to invest in renewable energy sources. So it's a positive thing. So hopefully everybody will get on board and do something to save our planet. Now, there's another part of the world that you may not be too familiar with. These countries are affectionately known as the Stans. And these are a part of the world that used to be owned by Russia. They are Soviet countries, and they gained their independence 20-some years ago. And there's several different countries. One is called Uzbekistan. And Uzbekistan has been ruled for 25 years since independence by this gentleman, Mr. Karimov. And he died a couple of days ago with no heir, no apparent follower to follow up leading the country. So there's been a bit of a vacuum there and some worry. There's a lot of people that are interested in that part of the world. So his funeral was yesterday, and of course the country now is quite vulnerable to other influences because of this power vacuum. He ran a pretty tight ship for 25 years. There were lots of human, his way of governing was quite harsh and secretive, and there were human rights abuses claimed, and fairness in the elections was also questioned. But he ran the country, and people are clearly going to experience a shift now that he's gone. So another part of the stands, a friend of ours, her name is Layla. She runs a travel blogging website called Women on the Road. She's really great. It's a great blog. But she's off doing a tour of the stands, and she's been sending back reports. And got a note this morning that she's in Kyrgyzstan, and I hope I'm spelling that or pronouncing that right, but it's where she is right now. And there's today starting the World Nomad Games. The Olympics were in Rio. Now this is the World Nomad Games. Apparently, these games have been going on for for thousands of years, and the nomadic tribes in that part of the world get together and met and competed. There were all kinds of interesting 23 different categories of competition. There's eagle catching or eagle games, eagle know what you do with eagles, but catch them, train them. And then there's also horse fighting on horses and all kinds of board games, that are unique to that region. So anyway, that's happening in Kyrgyzstan and the World Nomad Games. Apparently, there's going to be yurts set up everywhere with different demonstrations of cooking and culture, music, and dance performances. So it sounds like a pretty wonderful event in the stands today. In the Philippines, another part of the world, there has been, as you know, there was a suicide bombing a few days ago in the town of the hometown of the president, President Duterte. And he, as we've talked about before, has got quite a few people that are unhappy with the way he's governing. Putting a pretty heavy hand with drug cartels and offenders, and also with IS, the Islamic State. And yesterday, the Islamic State did claim responsibility for this attack. There were 14 people killed. It's obviously very sad, and he has declared a state of lawlessness in the Philippines. And this gives him some powers to allow the army, for example, to go into urban areas and to help the police. So that's going on in the Philippines. Now, there's a fun story I wanted to share with you in the States. This is a story about a man. His name is Chuck. He lives in Los Angeles, and he's a fairly young man. But I tell his story because it's kind of representative for me of just finding the job you love and creating your own life. So Chuck wanted a job. He thought about walking dogs, but then he thought, well, dogs they don't talk, and I don't really want to be hassled with all the dog things that you have to do. But how about if I walk people? So he put up a sign on his in the neighborhood, and it basically said, "Do you need motivation to walk? Are you scared to walk by yourself? Do you want to walk with someone so that people don't think you don't have any friends?" And there's another one. "You don't like listening to music or podcasts, but you just don't want to live with a silence in your own head that is constantly undermining your self-worth," or something like that. It was a very fun, creative banner. He put it up there, and he said, "For $7 an hour, I'll walk people. I'll walk you." And so several people took him up on this offer, and now he just walks people around Los Angeles. If you want to go for a bit of a hike, he'll take you to his favorite places. If you want to just meander around town, he'll walk with you. And he'll either wear his t-shirt that says, "I'm a people walker," or he'll just wear a normal t-shirt if he doesn't want you to be exposed. But it's really a fun idea, and he's doing really well. His business is thriving, and he's charging $7 an hour and doing something he loves. He says, I'm not a psychologist. I'm not a physical therapist. I'm just a person walking, taking people for walks. And it made me think more than anything that women in our 60s, we have a lot of skills that we know how to do things. We've had years to get expertise in areas that others might want to learn. So I was thinking, for example, if you know how to knit really well, you could start a little class on knitting, and you could hold it in a Starbucks or cafe, or if you're comfortable in your home, and invite people to come in and learn how to knit. And you could charge maybe $5 an hour or $7 an hour, and just make a little extra money, and also be sharing what you do well. And it just occurred to me that we probably have so many women in our community who know how to knit, crochet, do crafty things, scrapbooking, painting, quilting. And if you do, maybe that's an idea for a way to earn a bit of money and also share what you do really well. So I thought that People Walker Chuck was a good inspiration for us older women. And maybe you've got some ideas that you would like to put in the comment section below as well. It'd be fun to read them. So it is the Labor Day weekend, and apparently I must say I forgot yesterday that yesterday was Father's Day in Australia. So happy Father's Day to all the dads in Australia. Completely forgot that one. But today is the second day of the long Labor Day weekend, and if you're sitting there, you're drinking your cup of tea and thinking, what am I going to do today? What can I do? I maybe don't have a lot of money to spend. I just want to do something fun. Well, here are some free ideas, and I'll just give you some thoughts. Well, the first thing is stay close to home. Don't have to travel anywhere. Just find something in your neighborhood you've never done before, maybe a little museum or a little park, a restaurant, cafe, somewhere that you could go have coffee and just celebrate today. And by the way, if you're not in the States or Canada, just celebrate like I do everything. Just pretend it's your Labor Day weekend and just, make it special. So the other thing, stay at home stay close to home. Next thing is go for a hike. Almost every town has got a little pathway or a park or a road that you can walk down somewhere that's really cool. And, don't take your phone unless you want to take pictures, but just make it a hike, a walk for you. The next thing you can do is check out festivals and garage sales, flea markets. There's lots of festivals going on today, even just at the end of summer, even just in your neighborhood, or a boot sale in the United Kingdom, or a garage sale, I think you call them in the States. But just where you go take $5 maybe and buy just a little bit of jewelry or some little interesting painting or just something fun. And of course, the one thing I love to do is have a picnic. Just take a thermos of tea and a little sandwich, maybe a fruit, a little cake, and find a nice place. Just put down your shawl or your little towel and enjoy a picnic. Just enjoy the place and yourself. And then, of course, you can always stay in, get crafty, as we're saying. You could do some crafts, sort out those pictures that you've got on your computer that you need to organize. Or you could do something, just like a collage or a painting, or watch TV. Just watch a show that you've always wanted to watch and give yourself just the time back. Those are some free ideas for Labor Day. If you've got some yourself, put them in the section below. Give everyone ideas of what to do on this beautiful Sunday. So that's the news and the views for today. I have just one quote I'd like to share with you. It's one of my favorite quotes, and I put it on 60andMe now and again. But it just basically is: life does not have to be perfect in order to be amazing. And it is. We have so many things to be grateful for. I think sometimes we forget. We forget that we have a lot of things that we can show gratitude for. It doesn't have to, and the things don't have to be perfect. We're not perfect. No one is. And so not to seek for perfection, but just to seek to be amazing. Have an amazing day. Be an amazing person and enjoy your Sunday. And so my question for today, a very simple question, is just in one or two words, just describe how you are feeling today. I'd love to know how you're feeling. And don't forget, if you want to get this news first, I have to remind you, go up to 60andme.com/mornings. I would really appreciate your support. It would mean a lot to me if you would do that right now. Thank you. And the question again is just in one or two words, describe how you are feeling today. Take care, everyone. Have a fabulous Sunday, and I'll see you all back here tomorrow for Mornings with 60andMe.